Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So the topic that we will discuss today it is the effects of acid rain. First of all, you guys must know that what does mean by the acid rain. Here in the atmosphere, we have a process in which the water from Earth's surface it goes upward by the process of evaporation and it just changes into the vapors that gathered over the surface of the earth and they are making up the clouds. And when there is a process of wind or the high breeze, there is the process of rain. That water falls on the earth's surface in the form of the rain. Now, in the atmosphere, there are some gases present, which nitrogen dioxide and the sulfur dioxide. The water get reacts with this it produces the acids, and these acids are H2SO4, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid HNO3. It falls upon the Earth's surface by adding up these acids. Now, this rain is known as the acidic rain. As here you can see that the water falls from the Earth's surface. It has HNO3 and sulfuric acid, and it started to kill the tree. Now, from where these NO2 and SO2 gases came, basically the burning of the fossil fuels and the smoke from the chimneys and from the industrial waste or the smoke came out into the atmosphere and it goes up, reacts with the water and make the acids. And these acids then fall to the earth's surface and damage all the things in a different way. Then we have the first, it is the effects on the soil. Basically, the concentration of the hydrogen ions, this is known as the acidity, which is known as the basically pH. When it is going to be added into the soil, here in the soil we have many ions, potassium ions, sodium, calcium, and magnesium ions. And on the other hand, when there is less hydrogen ions that are going to add up into the soil. So here we have these ions just started to go down and we have just H positive ions around the soil. It's mean the acidity increases and the pH of the soil also decreases as the base saturation just goes down and the down here there is an increased discharge water acidity. It's mean when the acidity of the soil increases in turn it may harm the plants and the trees and it just causes the death of the plants. Why does the pH increases? Because the rain that falls it contains H2SO4 and HNO3. They are going to add up the hydrogen ions in the soil. In turn, the pH of the soil decreases and it becomes more acidic and it is not a favorable condition for the plants to grow. Then we have effects on the building and monuments. As the monuments and buildings that are made up of some marble or the stones, they contain calcium carbonate. And there is a production of carbonic acid that is present in the acid. As we see, carbon dioxide is also present in the air. When it reacts with the water, it produces the acid which is known as the carbonic acid. And when this carbonic acid reacts with the calcium carbonate, it produces calcium hydrogen carbonate or calcium bicarbonate. Now, this calcium bicarbonate is produced in that condition that it started to get older and older day by day and this acid rain just attacked the calcium carbonate which is present in the marble and in the limestone of the buildings and all the monuments. Thus these buildings are just getting dull and they are getting eroded day by day. So this is the effect of the acid rain on the buildings and the monuments. After that, we have its effect on the crops. That how do the acid rain affects the crops? Basically, when there is a acid rain, falls on the surface of the earth, it increases the acidity of the soil. When the acidity of soil increases, so many plants and crops, they cannot be able to grow properly. When they are not be able to grow properly in such a soil, in turn it increases the toxic metals in the soil. When there are more toxic metals in the soil, then these metals are poisonous to the vegetation process, and there is no production of the more vegetables and fruits as well. On the other hand, even if we have the old trees, they also do affected due to the acidity of the soil, and their growth in turn just retarded or stopped due to this process, and they just get dry like looking in this picture, and in turn they started to die, and there will be no production of the food by the crops or by the different plants. So this was a simple effect of the crops on the effects of acidic rain on the crops. Then we have effects on the trees and the leaves. In this picture, you can see that here the green leaves started to turn into darker and darker. At the end, it started to just die and fainted out. So the acid rain also damaged the leaves and trees directly. When it falls upon the surface of the trees, on the plants, thus it just limits their growth or stop the growth. Now, depending upon the severity of the damage, the plant's growth can also be hampered, and thus we can also check the capability of the plants to resist the different cold and diseases, and in turn ultimately they started to die when they will not be able to resist that change in a better way. So, this was all about today's lecture. I hope you guys understand. And if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section. And the next topic that we will discuss it is the ozone layer and its function. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.